Hello everybody, my name is Leopomon, and welcome to Naturally Critical. Hold up, is everything too bright? Let's see, yeah, that's fine. So, today, well, let's actually go back in time. Yesterday, I was playing on my phone. I was doing a little Dungeons and Dragons on with ChatGPT to test out a few subclasses when and I suddenly realized that I have never seen anyone who is doing the same thing I am doing talk about why the Rogue Warlock multiclass works. They tell you that it's one of the best classes, but usually in a format where they can't really go into much details because they're talking about more than just one different multiclass. So I decided to do a little deep dive into why the Rogue and Warlock multiclass works. So I decided, why not make a PowerPoint presentation? So hold up for a sec and wee. Okay, why does the Rogue Warlock multiclass work so well? And I have came up with 3 really powerful reasons why. Let's get started. First off, rogues. We all know them. They are our favorite thieves. They are our favorite swindlers. They are the martial classes with the capabilities of sneak attack with high dexterity and are the second or the best experts at skills. And warlocks, the one of the only base classes that is a half-casting class. They absolutely love the Eldritch Blast cantrip. Or at least the 2014 one it did. Nowadays, honestly, I think even with the new the 2024 rule books, the majority of people who will be playing Warlocks will be picking Eldritch Blast. So, I don't think much has changed with Eldritch Blast being the most powerful spell or the most powerful cantrip in D&D. But anyways, they have high charisma and they are very patron dependent. All of their features are based off of their patron giving them power. So, why does the multiclass work? Well, I found 3 major reasons why they work so well. Magic, invocations and cunning action, and their 3rd level features. First off, magic. Warlocks gain access to sneak attack, which is really good for a Hexblade Warlock, because with an Hexblade Warlock, their swords can now deal extra damage based off of their dexterity and sneak attack, and if they put on their Hexblade's curse, they can deal an extra charisma damage. Meanwhile, rogues gain access to magic without having to take the Arcane Trickster subclass, and even if they do pick Arcane Trickster, they gain access to spells that not even the wizard gets to access to, like Eldritch Blast, Armor of Agathis, Hex, and more. One of the better spells happens to be Hex. it costs a bonus action and a first level spell slot to use, which means even if you play an Arcane Trickster, you can use your Arcane Trickster's spell slot in order to cast Hex. In the 2014 version, it allowed you to deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage per hit. Not very useful in the hands of something that doesn't have extra attack, but it still means that you are dealing at least 1d6 extra damage when you're a level 1 rogue, level 1 warlock. So it is literally your damage die. What is it? Let's say you have a rapier, so 1d8, and let's say you've managed to roll a 18 on a 4d6 check for dexterity, and you're playing an elf who, or I guess, no, 2024 rules state that the ability scores are increased through backgrounds. Who cares? I don't like 2024 rules anyway, so I'm going to use 2014 rules. And you pick an elf, which gives you +2 to your dexterity, so now you have 20. So now you are literally dealing 1d8 plus 5 plus 1d6 from your sneak attack plus 1d6 from your necrotic from Hex. For an average, oh, wait, I did not put the average on here. Let's see. The D8's average is 5, so that's 10. 2d6 is 12. So 22 damage total as average. And with Battlemaster Commander Strike, you can double that because you can attack twice as a reaction, which means you can activate your sneak attack twice, and you can potentially quadruple the damage if you're lucky enough to get all nat 20s on your rolls. Anyways, and then 2024, well, it allows you to deal an extra necrotic damage per turn, which means you have the capability of at least doing 2d6 extra damage every round. Next, invocations and cunning action. Cunning action is very useful for any class that doesn't have many things to do with their bonus action. For example, a barbarian can rage, but they can only use that once every few times. And they can't rage when they are still enraged. So, most of the time, unless you're playing a berserker barbarian, you don't really have anything to do with your bonus action. So, instead, you can rage and throw your javelin as an action, then next turn, bonus action, dash towards your enemy and start swinging the shit out of your battle axe. Anyways, for my examples is fighter charges to deliver max bonks, while the squishy wizard hides after casting a spell. And invocations can improve the rogue significantly by adding more spells, like mage armor, which isn't very useful for the rogue since they have access to studded leather, or perhaps levitate, invisibility, things like that. More proficiencies, so you don't really have to grab Beguiling Influence, Deception, and Persuasion as your class, skills, and more capabilities altogether. For example, the best invocations are Shroud of Shadows, which allows you to cast the invisibility spell without expelling a spell slot. Beguiling Influence, again, proficiency in persuasion and deception checks. And then Devil's Sight, which grants you the ability of having dark vision that is powerful enough to even see through magical darkness. Next is the third level of features. The Warlocks get many things thanks to this. If they pick Arcane Trickster, they can have access to more spells and more spell slots, even if they can't really convert the Arcane Trickster spell slots into Warlock spell slots. But anyways, they deal more damage thanks to the archetypes or the subclasses like Assassin, being able to auto-crit a opponent that is surprised. They have more access to skills, more bonus action capabilities, and overall more versatility. Whereas rogues get Pact Boons, where they get more spells from Pact of the Tome, a companion, which gives them more sneak attack chances thanks to Pact of the Chain, less chances to fail thanks to Pact of the Talisman, better weapon thanks to Pact of the Blade, and these Pact Boons have their own special invocations. Invocations? What the? Okay, I guess I zoomed in a little too much. But anyways, invocations like Book of the Ancient Secret, or Book of Ancient Secrets, which grants you more spells, and grants you the ability to learn ritual spells, and transcribe them into your grimoire. Investment of the Chain Master, which can help you keep your companion alive. Rebuke of the Talisman. Hello, editing Leopomon here. I was editing this video when I realized that I made a small mistake. During the recording of this video, I put down Rebuke of the Talisman, and then in a bullet I said better saving throws. Rebuke of the Talisman does not do that. Rebuke of the Talisman allows you to deal psychic damage equal to your proficiency bonus against an enemy who has attacked whoever wears your talisman that is within 30 feet of you. And that does technically include yourself, since you are within 30 feet of yourself. Anyways, so, enjoy the rest of the video. And to grant you better saving throws, Thirsting Blade for extra attack, and Eldritch Smite, the Divine Smite for Warlocks. Speaking of Eldritch Smite is the most useful invocation for all rogues. You can deal at least an additional 4d8 force damage per round. At least 2d8 per turn, but at least 4d8 per round. That is 68 plus 2 times your dex mod, plus 46 sneak attack, plus 2d6 necrotic, for an average of 42 plus 2 times your dex mod, which, if your dex mod is plus 5, that means you deal an average of 52 damage at level 6. for the first round. And if I remember right, I don't remember it saying exactly that you don't necessarily have to use your warlock spell slots. Let's take a look. Take a second look. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, but anyways, and the bigger they are the harder they fall. You can literally, upon hitting them with a Eldritch Smite infused sneak attack, can knock an opponent prone that is huge or smaller, which gives you the capability of more advantage. And that is amazing. And then it got me thinking, yeah, these are pretty good reasons why the Rogue and Warlock multiclass works well. But then I thought about it. And you know what's better? Adding 2 more levels in Sorcerer. Because I have looked, and seriously, I have looked in, for what I'm about to say, I have looked through 3 different sources, one of them being D&D Beyond, and it says at Font of Magic, you have 2 you have 2 sorcery points. Sadly, I can't tell if the wording is big enough for you to see from here while I'm recording. But anyways, and this is coming straight from D&D Beyond, which has updated to the 2024 rules. But anyways, you have 2 sorcery points, and you gain more as you reach higher levels, as shown on the sorcery points column of the Sorcerer Features table. Now, no matter which version I am looking at, alright, here is the D&D 5e wiki, which is probably done by fans of D&D. But anyways, again, and you gain more as you reach higher levels, as shown in the sorcery points column. I even checked the one on my phone, and here's what I realized when I did this after I was finished making that PowerPoint. I realized that the Font of Magic doesn't really specify how much you can actually store, how much spell slots you can or sorcery points you can actually store, except by what level you are. So it doesn't really say that you can't contain more sorcery points than your sorcerer's spell level. So, that means as a level 3 rogue, level 3 warlock, level 2 sorcerer, you technically could be able to store a maximum of 8 sorcery points. Now, I do admit that is a bit of coffee locking right there, because you could use your warlock spell slots to turn into sorcerer sorcery points. But that doesn't help prevent a arcane trickster from converting their spell slots into sorcery points, and then the sorcery points into warlock spell slots. Technically, you're not breaking any rules because Font of Magic does not say that you can't have the number, or you can't have, where's the Font of Magic? Yeah, it doesn't say that you can't have a maximum of 8 as your sorcery points. It says it does not say that you can't have a maximum of 2 sorcery points because you are a level 2 sorcerer while a level 6 in other classes. It specifically says that you start off with 2 and you have the capability of gaining more as you level up. And the sorcery table shows you how much. So, if I'm the DM for someone who wants to build this multi-class, this build, level 3 rogue, level 3 warlock, and level 2 sorcerer, I personally would allow them to be capable of storing up to 8 sorcery points. But because they are 2 levels in sorcerer, they would actually start off with only having 2. So they literally have to convert spell slots from the other classes into sorcery points. Anyways, which means more spell slots for the warlock, because you convert the sorcerer and the arcane trickster spell slots into warlock spell slots, and now you have even more spell slots to use for the fucking eldritch smite. Which makes it even more terrifyingly powerful, because instead of going a maximum of 50 or an average of 52 damage for the first round, it goes to an average of 52 per round. Well, until they run out of spell slots and sorcery points. But still, that's a lot. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little rant. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!